Welcome to the Lila Life Show. I'm your host, Linda Andrews, and here to bring you an integration sprint. Today, we're going to be talking about turning challenges into opportunities and mastering customer problem solving. If you are already on the Lila Life email list, you saw a little overview of this topic in the weekly email that went out on Friday, and you can expect those weekly Lila gems if you're on the newsletter every Friday. So with that, I invite just a big inhale and exhale wherever you are right now. And in addition to that, just a moment of peace offering for the world. Feels like a great day to do that. So why am I talking about this topic, customer problems? In business, what I find is a lot of people start business because there's a gap in the market. There's something that they wish they had. They see there's a need, there's some demand, right? There's a creative process of usually taking something that doesn't belong and making it, or taking something that does already belong, exist, and making that better. And so sometimes, though, as we get caught in the day-to-day of the business operations, we can get removed from what the customer actually needs. And when this happens in business, the creative solutions aren't driving to what the customer needs or the problems the customer has. Sometimes there can be a distraction. Sometimes it can take a life of its own. I'm not saying that the needs and problems of the customer can't evolve, but it's just remembering to understand where the focus is. So if business is a game, I love games and playing. What if winning would be understanding your customer's pain points and serving your customer with those pain points? When the focus is the pain points and what the customer needs, the solution can change and evolve. It's not going to be this one thing forever, because likely the pain points and the way the customer expresses that could evolve. And that's, again, coming back to where these creative solutions can come in. And even as, say, the current solution exists, if you're listening to feedback, if you're listening to dissatisfaction, it can be hard sometimes to take. And that's an opportunity to reflect, what do the customers need? What do they want? What could make this better for them? And I find this lens such a beautiful lens, a lens of love that permeates through business, because there's people that pay me. I am thankful for them paying me. I'm meeting their need. I'm solving a problem, providing a solution to their problem. They're paying me, right? The sales as service. I'm providing them the value, making something in their life easier, likely through that problem solving. And so if business is a game, you win by understanding your customers' pain points, or solving your customers' pain points, or delivering on your customers' pain points. Listening for those little bits of frustration. Man, I wish X, Y, or Z. And if you have not launched a business yet, but are business curious, or you have a side hustle, it's a great, or maybe you're in the ideation phase, very early phase, being able to really, really listen to what people are saying. Some different techniques for this beyond doing actual customer interviews, which I highly recommend, customer discovery interviews. There's some different styles. I like the lean development model of that. There's different books on the topic. You're wanting to hear the customer's language. You're wanting to hear about how they talk about the problem. Even going to, say, Google reviews for a similar industry or a book on a topic that you're an expert on. Seeing what are people saying, what kind of words do they use. Being a detective is helpful in this, right? It's like, what if I could just understand this as much as I can, how much can I learn? Getting obsessed with understanding either your active customers or your prospective customers, what they need, what they desire, what their issues are. And doing this through meaningful conversations, a lot of active listening, a lot of questions, a lot of insights. In this active listening, you have 2 ears, 1 mouth, just listening as much as possible. Tell me more about that. Could you help me understand that further? And just listen, immerse, be as curious as you can. How much can you find out about this problem or this person's experience of the problem? And then from all this, from the language they're using, from the feedback, you're looking for patterns, you're looking for trends. And this is the spark of innovation for you to then be able to create the solution to meet the problem. And this is the difference between business feeling uphill or downhill. I've done business uphill. It's been brutal. When you can do the downhill, when you're listening so innately, and that's driving the business forward, it changes everything. And you hear about that push marketing versus the pull marketing. If you're crafting your messaging and your outreach and your output to be about the problem you're solving, how the customer talks about the problem, it's deepening that intimacy and trust with both ways, and then finding that alignment for you to deliver that solution. So where do you even find the problem if you're not actively working on it? Like I said, pay attention in your world. I think one clue, the prompt, wouldn't it be nice if, as you just look around, it's like, what could be different? What could be more efficient? What could be optimized? What could be, whatever that is for you, more beautiful, more enjoyable? And this is what then drives innovation. One of my zany ideas is, what if gas stations could become like little wellness hubs and everything just be more health and life enriching than what they currently feel like? I had a experience once at a gas station also. It was felt pretty unsafe. I actually pulled out of the parking spot with the gas nozzle in my car because I felt so spooked out with my sister-in-law, and I accidentally took the nozzle with me as I sped away in great fear of what this sketchy guy was doing. And so gas stations to be a wellness forward experience with great lighting and preventing moments like that. Some states like New Jersey, shout out to New Jersey, you don't pump your gas, so you don't run into experiences like that as much. Anyway, I come back to center here. So paying attention, wouldn't it be nice if the gas station had health supportive food? So looking for those, wouldn't it be nice? Listening to what people complain about. People love to complain. Listen to what the complaints are about and be curious, that sounds like a real problem. I wonder how I could solve that for them. I have a few things that I would love solutions to. And I need people to build those or build them myself. And that build them yourself, right? Think about what your personal pain points are. There comes a point where that can take you so far, but then you need to get obsessed about the other people. But your own pain points, likely there's others that experience it similar to you, and that can also be your guide there. So you pick something, you pick a problem, and now you do these customer interviews. You can research this a ton online. There's different ways to do it, but as many people that you can talk to. I recommend doing this in a structured way, open-ended questions, being sure to capture this data in an organized way, aiming for 50 to 100 customer interviews to really validate, can I get in touch with these prospective customers, right? Sales, the revenue that's going to drive your business. How am I going to provide value and receive money? So talking to people that have problems and understanding what kind of solutions they're looking for, what price points, get in that conversation. And then from there, what could the solution look like? You may have heard the term, it's big in the tech world. I think this can be rebranded a little bit. Maybe, I don't know, minimal viable product. Just what's the minimum solution you can get out there? And this is a chance to test, to get feedback. Likely you're putting it out there as something that's not great, minimum. And then you get the feedback, oh, I wish it had this or this or this. And as you make each of those updates, it gets better, it gets better, it gets better. And you're just listening, listening, listening. Where can I make the changes that I need to make? And when you implement those changes, those can be implemented in a timeline that works for you as a business owner, there may be some things that can be adjusted immediately and you can implement today. There may be things that take a little bit more time or energy, and you need to give it some time and energy, and you strategically deploy that update next quarter. And with all of this, it's getting into your own rhythms with your business for how to do that. And so as you map out this solution, what's the minimum viable product or the minimal viable solution, thinking about the different touch points and experiences that a customer can experience. I think of the Ritz-Carlton experience, where it's a very curated experience. I'm so hyped. I went to this recent sauna bar for facial within the month, and it was truly from start to finish such a beautiful experience. The aesthetic was stunning. Every touch point was amazing, and I was floored. I don't find myself in that kind of breathtaking consumer experience often. So it's extremely delightful. And thinking of little ways that you can delight your customers, right? What if every time they walked into the door, there was the same greeting or the same warm towel available for you or the same room spray that was a stress relieving, whatever that is with your brand and your service offering. But there's so many little ways to delight people that you may consider how to do that. And so as you're considering this journey for your customers, thinking about it from, again, their lens, what would this feel like for them at each of these touch points? When you're getting feedback from customers or prospective customers, prioritizing what's the most significant issues and changes to make. And just remembering that there's not necessarily a final destination in this. It could be your exit strategy, which we should have a different conversation around, right? How are you consciously choosing to exit the business at some point in time? So without this destination in mind, continuing to make it better, continuing to make the service, the product better for your customer, and seeing how that ripple effects to their network and the people that they love that may face similar problems. And again, this one trap is to get too in the lens of you, how you experienced it, what it was like for you. Remember, it's the customer. The customer is paying you. You may have the same problem, but likely you're not paying yourself and your business to use the product or service or offering. So making sure that getting and oftentimes when we have had experience with the problem, it could have been 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. So the way people are experiencing it now may have evolved, or maybe some of the terms around it are different. So just really getting into the lens of who are you serving and how are they going through this experience. So if you have any key takeaways today, write them down. I would encourage you to be an explorer around what problems in the market could be solved. What kind of simple solution could you create? What kind of feedback can you get? How can you iterate the product from there? And keep an eye on, is it working? Are sales going up? Are they going down? Is traffic going up? Traffic going down? And just remember that this is a process. Beyond your exit strategy, right? You will be growing, iterating, going, continuing, rubbing up against new issues, new challenges. And so unless it's the day that you have sold or winding the business down, it's a journey and not a destination. So wishing you so much love, many blessings. Thanks for tuning into this week's integration sprint with Lila. Like, share, subscribe, pass it along. Let us know what your biggest takeaway is. We'd love to hear from you. And we'll see you next week on the Lila Life Show.